Hello and welcome to Shakespeare Aloud, Measure for Measure, the recap of Act 2, and a couple of thoughts from your discussion after reading Act 2. Again, it's been a pleasure following you online and from afar on your thoughts and ideas about Act 2. And what I thought especially interesting was actually the use of verse in Act 2, Scene 3, between Juliet and the Duke. Especially if you're now going ahead next week to read Act 3, I encourage you to have a look at how the speech pattern changes between when the Duke is speaking with certain people. I find it really fascinating. I'm not sure I quite have an answer to that question yet, so I'm looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are on the matter. And now the recap of Act 2. We find out the Duke has in fact not left the city, but is staying there disguised. He has disguised himself as a friar and is trying to discover how people are reacting to Angelo's rule. He visits the prison where he tries to persuade Juliet that Claudio must die. Isabella goes to Angelo and begs for leniency. Angelo realizes his powerful position and tells her to come back the next day after he has thought the case over. On her return, Angelo proposes that he will release her brother in exchange for sleeping with him. When she refuses and threatens to reveal him, he explains that no one will believe her because of his position and reputation. He gives her 1 day to decide before he has Claudio killed. There's something else really interesting in Measure for Measure textually. It's 3 short lines. They're called mirrored lines. Quite often you have 2 short lines. They're called shared lines because one is picked up with the other, especially with verse. But what you'll come across in Measure for Measure especially, you have 3 of them. They're mirroring each other. They can be flipped either way. So the first 2 can be shared, the last 2 can be shared. They can maybe even overlap all 3 to them. So as you're reading the following acts, maybe you'll come across of them and have fun and explore and play with those lines. All right, looking forward to your discussion and reading of Act 3. Until next week, bye!